Welcome in to this week's WCS Sports Connection. I'm your host, Patrick Whitlock, District Athletic Director, and with me always is Tate Mathews. We had a week off last week. How was your week, Tate?
Great Thanksgiving weekend, great Thanksgiving Day, and here we are. Happy December. So we had a good one. I got to start it off. Everybody knows I'm a big Tennessee fan. You're a big Vanderbilt fan. On air, publicly.
Appreciate it.
Nobody can claim that I didn't.
No.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It all comes full circle.
The better team did win.
Wear the black and gold tie today. It was.
You should have.
It was a good day. You know, I was talking with my dad last night. You know, we've only beat Tennessee 8 times in my lifetime. I'm not going to give my age, but it's been a long time. I mean,
well, you went 20-some years.
23-year streak of not winning. But
well, I will say it for all of our. We all have. And this could be a good clown segment, but I'm not going to take away from the kids. We all have our clown fans.
We do.
We have them. You have them.
Yes.
Alabama has them.
Alabama has a lot of them.
Huh?
Alabama has a lot.
They got a lot of them. Starting with the guy that's on Twitter. What's his face? Roll Tide Willie.
This could be a whole show.
To all the clown, I'll speak for all the clown UT fans out there. The better team won.
Well,
so congrats.
Appreciated. We'll enjoy it for a year, see how it goes. All right, but Wilco Sports, nobody's got it better than us. So far this year, 4 state titles, 2 runners-up, and we're going to add to that total this upcoming weekend. It's going to be fantastic.
Could add 2 titles to it.
Could. Definitely bringing home some hardware. I think we're in a good position to bring home 2 gold balls. We will see 2 WCS teams advancing, Page and Ravenwood, to the state football finals. But before we get into that, we do have some accolades to kind of wrap up some of the other winter sports. The Tennessean has started to release their all Midstate teams, and in golf, no surprise here, we were well represented. George Lascaris from Brentwood on the boys team, Brooke Bennett from Page on the girls team, and then the girls coach of the year, James Eichhoff from Page. Banner year as Page girls take home the state title, Brentwood boys finish runner-up.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of those were, especially Coach of the Year, those were pretty easy. But glad that they got the recognition that they deserve. And I think it's kind of like volleyball. I think it's kind of like cross country. I don't see us giving up the number 1 spot in ladies golf anytime soon.
No.
I feel like we're getting ready to go on a run.
No, for sure.
Might be Page.
And I mean, it's kind of already started. I mean, Brentwood had all those boys state titles. Page 2 in a row. Girls, I mean, it's definitely up on the ascent there.
Yes,
for sure. Volleyball also released their Tennessee and all Midstate team, and the WCS was represented well in the first team. Elliot Dinsmore from Indy, who I believe is a Texas Tech commit. Lauren Duncan, Eliza McKnight, and Daisy Oatsvall from Brentwood. Maddie Cleese and Amanda Shanahan from Summit, and then Warren Riker, Coach of the Year. Goes without saying.
Goes without saying.
When you have the first and second place team, Summit champs, Brentwood runner-up, dominating there. And then getting into the winter sports, the Tennessean released their early season Wrestler of the Year candidates. On the boys' side, Brody Melzoni from Nolensville and Maddox Eskew from Ravenwood. And then the girls' side, Laura Gupton from Indy. I feel like that list is probably a little incomplete. Maybe some Williams County coaches didn't
turn their stuff in.
A lot of emails last week, and not everybody's working. So
correct.
It's not the best time to solicit information from teachers.
I agree.
So, yeah.
But, I mean, come on. Check your email.
Yeah, well.
Although, I mean, Brody.
We're assuming. We don't know.
We're assuming, right. You know what happens
those kids
when
are
you
deserving.
assume.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we can get an illustration up there on the teleprompter.
One of those days.
But we just remember, though, a lot of the ones from last year graduated. We graduated a lot of state champs.
Right.
So I know what you're saying. But Melzoni, I'll roll with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Maddox Eskew,
Easy.
They'll be in the mix.
Easy, yep.
For sure. Also, basketball started up. We're going to have a full-fledged basketball preview next week because we don't want to take away from football this week.
No.
Obviously, a lot going on. But there are some games of interest coming up this week. On Tuesday, Page and Nolensville play. That's probably a little bit more interesting on the girls' side than the boys, even though Nolensville boys have got off to a great start. Page boys as well. But those are probably the 2 top girls teams in Williamson County. Now, there's going to be some competition outside of them.
Yes.
But they are the clear front runners. Page just came back from a trip off Florida where they were very successful. And Nolensville returns a lot of their team that was a district champion a year ago.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
And then Franklin and Independence also Tuesday night.
Always spicy when those two get
For
together.
sure. Indy girls are going to be a little bit better than advertised. Cecily Brandamore, probably the best girls player in the county.
Biggest matchup problem.
Yeah, definitely biggest matchup problem. And then, that Franklin-Indy boys rivalry has really kind of taken up to a notch. Two of the more successful programs last 5 or 6 years. And it seems like there's always a court storming when that game goes on. Maybe not this year. I think those teams are going to be a little bit better than advertised. Kind of in a reload mode for both teams a little bit.
Court stormings, man. There's been, last decade, there's been a lot of court storming stories.
Well, if we wanted to backfill the budget, we could start fining people for that. But then we're also taking away from our schools. So
That's right.
We're not going to do that. But on to football. I was able to attend both games Friday night. I was at Page Centennial for the first half, Ravenwood Southwind for the second half. First game, just house money because you knew a Wilco team was going. Page 43, Centennial 21. Cameron Cruzy 14 to 15, 184 yards. Mitchell Grandjean, the transfer from Page to Centennial, 17 to 31 for 169 yards. This game is a little closer than the score. Centennial cut it to a one-score game or a one-point game in the third quarter before Page rips off 21 consecutive points. They tack on a late touchdown. But Centennial, very competitive throughout this game. Had an unfortunate turnover for them on the first possession. Tip pass got picked off, kind of killed that scoring drive, but still very competitive. And we said before, Centennial have been through a lot this year. For them to get to the semifinals was kind of a big deal.
Well, they've only been there one other time in school history, which is, they've been around a while now, so it's not like they're...
Yeah, since 1996.
Right, the new school. Golly, I can remember when they built it too.
Yeah.
Think about how much Cool Springs has blown up just since 1996.
Oh, it's insane. And what their zone used to look like.
Right.
You're talking about pulling all the way down 65 to where Berry Farms is. And,
yes.
I mean, it's really, the landscape has changed significantly.
Big time.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, so it's only happened once before, and that was kind of ironically, that's when Coach Brian Rector was the head coach, who's now the athletic director, in his first year as the athletic director. So yeah, it's an unbelievable accomplishment. And if memory serves me correct, I wasn't there. I was getting it on updates on text and on Twitter/X. They, even with that early turnover, they went up 7-0, didn't they?
Yeah, they got to stop. Came back down and scored, but it was a chance for them to kind of
really
pad that lead and get into it. Page had a safety on a botched snap on the punt, legal forward pass, and then Page was able to get a little bit of separation, 12-7 at the half, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
7-0, they're up, then they're down 12-7, and then I think you said it.
We got the safety, it was 9-7, and then they tacked on a field goal right before the end of the half.
Yep.
So it's 12-7, come back down, get a field goal to start. Then Centennial comes down and ties or cuts it to 15-14.
Right.
And then that's when it just kind of got away.
Yeah. So you're exactly what you said at the beginning. Closer than the final score would lead you to believe if that's all you saw. They were in this game 3/4 of it, but then that once it got out of control, they never could quite get back. But
well, Page a lot of talent. Cohen Grissom, 2 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. James Pierre, transfer from the Webb School, had 194 yards on 17 carries, and then Drew Rimple, another transfer, caught 4 passes for 74 yards with a touchdown. We're not saying Ackerman today, but he had some big catches. Just a little bit too much talent on the offensive side of the ball for Page. Centennial defense really couldn't slow them down when they needed to.
I think, and we'll get to it later on, but that's part of what I was going to say is this team is different. Obviously it's different defensively because you lose Hazard and Ains and some of the other ones. But I think this team's different offensively than they've been in the past too. I think they're more explosive.
Much more diverse. I mean, they
got so many
score
weapons.
in a variety of ways. And Cruzy is incredibly efficient.
That's what I was going to say. 14 for 15.
That's solid.
In a semifinal playoff game?
Right. And made it look easy.
And it's cold?
Yeah. And I believe he threw an incompletion on his first pass.
And then it was 14 for 14?
If it wasn't his first, it was his second. It was very early on that first drive.
He did hit. He threw 3 touchdowns. He hit Ackerman for at least one of them, maybe 2 of them. which that could be every game if that's how they wanted it to be. So, but they can pass the ball, they can score. You've got Pierre, you've got Grissom, Ote when he's healthy. You can put Cunningham at running back. I mean, they just have weapons everywhere.
Yeah.
And then none of this happens, you don't go 14 for 15 if you don't have the offensive line taking care of business in front of you.
Well, that's the difference. It's up front. They got difference makers on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
It was just too much for Centennial to overcome. Nonetheless, great job by the Cougars. When they played in the semifinals 10 years ago, they played against Independence. It's Scott Blade's 15-0 team. And those are the only 2 times in Wilco history we've had a semifinal game with 2 Williamson County teams involved. Centennial's been a part of both of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it a lot before. Whoever won that game, in my opinion, was going to win the state championship. So Independence won it, right? No doubt. They were the best team in the state, no matter what division. But had Centennial beat Independence that night, I believe Centennial goes to Tennessee Tech in Cookeville.
And they win it.
Hey.
Yeah.
They got, Wings Up got a dose of, what do you call that? Northwest football, FCS.
Yeah. That's you go 11-1, and then you get knocked out in the first round. That's a bummer.
But, and that was also the last time that we had to win it.
Yeah, 2 state champions in 2015, the Independence Eagles in 5A, and good segue, the Ravenwood Raptors in 6A with an upset of Maryville, 26-17, made consecutive trips there.
Yep.
So that second game, Ravenwood 28, Southwind 25. The 2-headed monster at quarterback, Femi Babalola and Maverick Chance, combined for 167 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Chance finished with 6 completions for 105 yards and 1 touchdown. Babalola, 3 completions for 56 yards and a touchdown. This game, I'll tell you, Ravenwood very fortunate to pull this one out. The kid from Southwind, which we'll get here in a second, was unbelievable. Ravenwood gets down 13-7, tacks on 2 touchdowns right before the half to take a 21-13 lead going in, and then some big defensive plays in the second half. Jalen Pollard had an interception. He also had a scoop and score when it was 21-19 to give the Raptors a 28-19 lead, and that proved to be the difference in the game. Matthew Anderson, my guy, Matthew Anderson, great kid, spearheaded the defensive charge, 16 tackles for Ravenwood, and he forced that scoop and score right there. But the Kendrick Perkins kid, and I meant to do some background research on where he's going to college. He was unstoppable.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, Southwind's line was big.
Yes.
Noticeably big kids, but they could not do anything with him. And if they don't get that scoop and score, I think we're not even discussing Ravenwood going to Chattanooga this week. And Kendrick Perkins was unstoppable. He had 4 touchdowns. He's got 169 overall touchdowns in his high school career.
No.
That's not even the record. That's second.
Well,
he's a senior.
He's a senior.
He is a senior. Mr. Football.
Did he win Mr. Football as a freshman?
Mr. Football, he won it last year as a junior in 5A, and then they moved up. He's coming off his 4th 6-score game, which was the previous week. That's amazing. 184 yards passing, 169 yards rushing. He was a problem for sure.
Big time.
Raptors able to pull it off.
Oh, it's a huge win. But I think they knew. I think they thought they were going to win, but they knew you're not going to hold this team to 10. We were going to have to force some turnovers and then make the most of all of our offensive possessions. But yeah, well, I'll put it this way: everybody in the Midstate is going to go crazy this week when they announce the Mr. Football winners. And I'm a huge Andre Adams fan from Antioch as well, but this kid's going to win it.
He should.
You can just go ahead and get ready for it.
I mean, I did not see Andre Adams play in person, but this guy. I mean,
hey,
if Andre Adams is better than him,
it never hit me. It's. I don't know why it's never hit me. Are we 100% sure his first name is Kendrick?
I think, yeah. That's what I read.
Is he related to?
I don't think so.
That would be
just a striking coincidence.
Unbelievable.
That would be unbelievable.
I'm a big. You like Big Perk on ESPN?
100%.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah. You ever seen the one when he's talking to Draymond Green? Draymond Green calls him an ogre.
Yeah.
He said, "You ain't pretty."
Yeah. Just kind of goes back and forth.
Yeah. Well, But I think that's kind of cool that they win it this way, right? How many times throughout the year has the quarterback duo of Babalola and Chance Babalola, and then Cy Longley making a big catch? It seems like almost every week, but it seems like when it gets tight, the offense seemed to bail them out. Defense, obviously, they needed them both. But yes, I agree with you. Without those 2 turnovers, without that scoop and score, I think it could have gotten bad for the Raptors. Defense really, I'm sure they did, but defense deserved the first game ball for sure.
100%. The turnovers, the interceptions were incredibly timely. Southwind scores with like maybe 8 minutes to go to cut it to 28-25. Now they rolled out a kicker, and I use that term loosely, number 87, and you and I could have come closer on the X. They got a personal foul. They were going for 2, which didn't make sense to me anyway. But then when I saw them line up to kick, it made perfect sense because not even close.
Was he wide?
No, he was like a legitimate wide receiver.
Just not a good
And
kicker.
they're just like, why don't you give it a try?
Did he soccer style or was it straight on?
No, it was.
You don't know.
It was bad.
He was like the poor guy at halftime of the game, and when he was trying to win the Food City Bucks.
Or it's like just a person on game day that has no concept of what they're doing. I mean, it was so bad.
Hey, I got to know, what kind of crowd did they have?
It was a great crowd. And Southwind brought a decent little crowd themselves.
Wow.
So
good for them.
Probably a good gate. Ravenwood section obviously packed.
Yes.
Page Centennial was a madhouse, obviously. I mean, and it's a tough time the Friday after Thanksgiving. Some people are out of town, but great turnouts by all the schools involved. So Ravenwood moves on. First championship appearance since 2019 when Matt Daniels was the head coach. They're seeking their 3rd title, okay, and it's their 6th appearance overall in 24 years in a state championship game.
So great. Let's talk about that for a second. The only other one I can think of is Oakland, and they've been a school a lot longer than Ravenwood. But you think about it. Rector, Hester, Daniels,
Rodriguez.
and now Rodriguez. Yeah. 4 head coaches have been to the state championship game.
It's pretty strong.
It
says a lot
22
about
years? What is Ravenwood?
24 years. So they're averaging a state appearance every 4 years.
It's pretty cool.
That's insane. Definitely carving out their football, legend here.
Yep.
Also, I think this is interesting. Brian Rector wins 2005. Will Hester wins in 2015. It's 2025. Every 10 years. But this would be a pretty monumental win for them.
No more monumental than beating Maryville.
True. They were not supposed to beat Maryville. Should have beat them twice. Had them on the ropes the first time.
Coach Hester will tell you he thought the best shot they had was the year before when they lost in overtime.
Yeah, Van Jefferson was just all over the place that day.
Yeah.
Coach Hester in his bag just running trick plays.
Yes,
I mean, had a huge lead. Yeah, and everybody thought that was the window to win it. And then the next year they come back and take care of business.
Coach Hester with his Lane Kiffin visor on.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, the second one, the one they won, you know who I'll never forget. What kid that one game did just?
Chris Rowland?
Dang right, man.
Yeah, another pro.
You want to talk about an effort. That was awesome.
Also, like 2 monster kick returns against Whitehaven in the semifinals to help them win that game. They kept kicking to him.
Why would you do that? I don't understand it.
Coach Hester was pretty fired up on the sidelines. We could bring out that retro film. It's a little much. But anyway, all right, so this Friday night, Page versus Sevier County. Now, if we're getting to the pick'ems, we didn't have them last week. You took the lead because you picked the Centennial Cougars to beat Henry County. And I went back and watched the tape again today. I was like, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm picking Henry County. That's been the difference. You are 56-23.
Thank you, Cougs. Thank you, Cougs.
I'm 55-24, but it's not over.
No.
But it probably is because I think we're going to pick the same teams, but it is what it is.
I'm going to be honest. Are you? Are you picking as the district AD here, or are you picking as Coach Whitlock?
It might be.
I'm a competitor, and I want to win.
No, I want to win. You know me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then who knows?
All right, we'll see how it goes. So, Friday night, 7 o'clock, Finley Stadium. I guess it's 6 o'clock here because it's 7 o'clock on the Eastern time zone. Page versus Sevier County, a rematch. Sevier County had a tight game with Greenville earlier this year, 30-27. I believe that was a 2-overtime game. They lost to Grace Christian the following week, which is their only blemish on the year. They're 13-1.
Just for the listeners, we're not talking about
No,
the
Grace
Leapers
Christian,
Fort dump.
Knoxville.
We're not talking about Country Boy Breakfast Dump. We're talking about the Grace Christian in
I'm not going to talk
Knoxville.
about Grace Christian like that. I got a couple friends over there. Lynn McNatt, shout out. Anyway, but yeah, it is different. It is different. The one score on here that jumped out to me when I was doing the research, they beat Lincoln County 28-24 in the quarterfinals. Lincoln County, a team that got off to a great start this year, barely beat Indy, a team that Page, took to the woodshed.
Is this what we're basing our?
Well, you get to pick first. They beat Halls out of Knoxville 49-13 last week.
Okay.
This is their fifth consecutive trip to the state championship game. They're 0-4. Is this the year?
0-4. But again, I think it's important when we say that it's been 4 in a row. You just don't do this unless your name is Alcoa or Maryville.
Right.
Okay. And Maryville won't do this anymore again. So I did get a little intel this weekend.
Okay.
At the tailgate.
It's always the best place to get intel.
Good place to get intel. A lot of people that are
in the know.
It's too bad they're so successful as businessmen, because apparently they would be unbelievable head football coaches because they've got all the answers. So
always do.
And basketball too. But they say, and these were Knoxville West people, which remember a couple years ago that's who two of the losses are to in the Blue Cross Bowl. They say this Sevier County team is better than last year's team.
Interesting.
They felt pretty. I mean, they were pretty firm about it. And I said, well, that's all good, because this year's Page team is better than last year's team. I said, I'm just telling you.
I think significantly better.
Significantly better on offense.
Yeah.
Like you just said.
You don't have Eric Hazard, who blocked a punt Saturday, by the way.
Against
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Coach joined. Beat down. Got the coach fired.
Talk about, yes.
Coach got ousted after the last 2 games.
What's going on, by the way?
It's insane. We'll have to talk about that off air.
Jeez. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Good for the Smoky Bears. I think this Page, just like what you just talked about earlier, it was 15-14, and then bam, 21 points like that. This is by far the most explosive and most weapons of a Page offense they've ever had. Are we picking right now?
Yeah, you're picking. You're up first.
Not only do I think Page gets the first goal ball, it's double digits.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I'm picking Page too. I do worry about the mental mindset. Like, you get behind, it gets in your kid's head, like, here we go again. First of all, this whole narrative about how, you can't win the big one, that's people that have never coached.
Yeah,
you have no clue how hard it is to get there.
Not only have you never coached, you probably never competed in anything.
Right. I mean, basketball, football, anything you get to. I mean, think about, the best basketball coach I coached against in this county was Dennis King. And he went to the state tournament, 4 times? And he eventually got to the championship game, almost pulled off one of the biggest upsets of all time. But, I mean, that guy coached for 30-plus years, and he only had a handful of state appearances near the back end of his career. It's just really difficult to do.
Really difficult.
I mean, I think you could ask anybody. I mean, you could ask all the great coaches across Middle Tennessee in any sport, like, just how difficult that is, particularly the public school where there's more teams. It's a tough road to hoe. So I would just love nothing more than for Page to be able to watch that narrative away. And I know as bad as I want it for him, Coach Rathbone wants it even more.
Yeah, and deserves it. I mean, people forget. Coach Rathbone, we've been doing it so long now. We know stuff that they don't even, they wouldn't even think to know. But Coach Rathbone was an assistant coach under Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Who was the first Ravenwood coach, who was 3 district athletic director. So he was with Coach Daniels at Page before Coach Daniels became the district athletic director, which you're the third.
Right.
That's how long he's been there.
A lot of tenures.
He was there with Alvin Palmer. So, I mean, he's seen that place change more than anybody. Coach Hatley, maybe.
Yeah.
He and Coach Hatley have probably watched it. But here's what I always laugh at when they say, "Oh, does the last 4 years fall? Does it get in the back of their mind? Do they choke up?" Where was Cameron Cruze? Cruzy last year.
I think in Kansas City.
He's in Kansas City. He wasn't here.
Right.
He didn't even know. Not only did he not know who Sevier County is, he didn't know who Page was. He didn't give a rip. Pierre, he wasn't a part of this.
Right.
He didn't give a rip. Rimple, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, is there going to be any doubt with them? Why would there be doubt? They weren't even part of the team.
Well, and they're a confident bunch.
And
they have rolled through the playoffs.
That's right.
With the exception of Beach, which that game, 10-point win, really wasn't that close either.
That's exactly right.
I mean, they have handled some teams. And if there's one thing you know about this, being around these kids, and I don't mean this in a negative way, it's a confident group.
Confident group.
For sure. So I expect them to come out Friday night and play pretty well, so I'll take Page as well.
Okay, so we're
all right, so here we are.
knotted up.
No, yeah, there's no way to get past it. All right, Ravenwood, Oakland. Oakland beats Blackman last week 42-14. They've only had 3 games this year that have been within 2 scores. They beat CPA 28-14, Riverdale 35-21, and the one tight game they had was 2 weeks ago, Green Hill in the quarterfinals. They trailed going in the 4th, but they're able to pull it out 21-17.
Yep.
They have a 20-game win streak, and in their last 29 games, they are 28-1.
Riverdale beat them last year, right, in the regular season?
No, this is where the plot thickens. Their last loss, October
that's right.
25th.
Yeah, it was Ravenwood.
Coach Hester pulling out the 2-point conversion to Patrick Sullivan
That's right.
to give them that one loss.
Yes.
Can Ravenwood bookend these 2 years with another win over Oakland?
Wow.
I'm up first.
And by the way, it doesn't matter, but maybe if you're superstitious, Oakland, the East teams are all home this year, so Ravenwood will be in their whites. Don't know if that matters to you or not.
Well, they were in their whites last time they beat them. So, look, I'm a big believer in just cycles. 2005, 2015, 2025.
That's good stuff. Did you come up with that on it, or did somebody give it?
I was just thinking about that today because I
awesome.
wasn't at Ravenwood in 2005. I was there in 2006 when they lost to Smyrna, Sonny Gray Smyrna, and the receiver,
Rodriguez Wilkes.
Wilkes, yeah.
Rod Wilkes.
Yeah, when they lost at MTSU. I was there when they beat Maryville in 2015, athletic director at the time. Also, I think the interesting thing is they played at Murfreesboro, Cookeville, and now they got a chance to win one in Chattanooga. I'm a big believer in the 10-year cycle. I'm picking the Raptors.
Oh, I like it. Any other reasons?
Look, I think their defense is legit.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. That's really good stuff, by the way. Oakland beats up on Blackman 42-14. Okay, they really got after them. But I do think Oakland is banged up. They're banged up, man.
Joel Wyatt didn't play last week.
He didn't play last week. Justice Haggard is out. Wyatt might be back for the Ravenwood game. Of course, they just give the ball to Craig Tutt, and he
right.
The 2 quarterback. It's a different 2 quarterback system than Ravenwood does, but Coach Creasy he alternates them every play, sends the play in with them. It doesn't matter. There is no. Well, you had this series, so
it's a play-by-play thing. I've not watched them play.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
But one of their quarterbacks got hurt. Their older one. Don't know if he'll be available for Saturday, which means if they do, they're going with the freshman quarterback. He's been playing 50% of the snaps all year long anyways as a freshman, so he's no longer a freshman. But up until a couple weeks ago, Oakland's defense is the best defense that I've seen Coach Creasy have. And as big of a Ravenwood fan as I am, I just didn't think they could beat them. I think there's a couple things that have changed in the last 2 weeks, and I like what Coach Rod's got going on with this group. Their confidence, you got 2 absolute winners at quarterback that I think are going to throw them on their back, and then the defense will be the difference. So looks like one way or the other, I'm winning pick'ems because I'm going with Ravenwood too. Yeah. But I hope it's because we go 2-0.
I hope so.
Now maybe
too.
There's a tiebreaker we can do or something, final score or something.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out. But I think we're coming home with 2 gold balls. And to think about, it's only happened one other time, and the 2 teams that did that, I mean, to be in the same stratosphere or whatever with those guys, that's something to be really proud of.
Pretty strong. Yeah, I think Maverick Chance can be the difference in this game. Ball control against Southwind, they got the ball back with about 8 minutes to go. They just basically put him in the backfield and said, go get us 3 first downs, run the clock out. That's what they did.
Yeah.
And he's kind of, I mean, that kid, I think he's going to be super successful at Navy. He is tailor-made for their system.
And I'm glad that he realizes that too and is going there, and not trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
No,
he's perfect there. He's what they want. But you know what else? And I think you're right. I think he will too. But I don't know. I just feel like Femi's going to have a big game in this one because I think they're going to.
I think they're going to be a little bit more willing to chuck it around.
Yep. I think they're going to be so concerned about stopping that run game.
Yeah.
Because they want the ball back. That's the other thing is I've been watching it now for a long time. Oakland does not beat themselves ever.
Right.
They don't do it. So if that's what you're planning on, you're in trouble. They do not. You have to beat them.
Yeah.
And the best way they can beat them is long drives, keeping that offense off the field, which means they're going to have to take some chances. That's where Femi's going to boom.
Yeah. Got to win the turnover battle.
Got to.
That Ravenwood team has forced some turnovers at key times. I mean, interception-wise, I think they've got 5 in the last 2 weeks. But they're going to have to be on top of their game. But I think they got it in them.
Be awesome, man.
It'd be amazing.
First-year head coach, if he could go 15-0 with a gold ball in 6A football.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Tennessee.
I hope the SEC, Big 12, there's some great places to watch the college conference championships right by the stadium. I hope everybody. I don't worry about Friday night in Page. I hope the Ravenwood game is well attended on Saturday night. It needs to be.
It will be. Yeah. You know the Ravenwood faithful.
Yes.
This is a priority for sure. Dr. Vaden's already. How can we get some help with some buses? I was like, you got money. Anyway, all right. That's going to wrap it up for this week. We'll be back next week recapping these 2 championship games. And also, we'll get into a little bit of basketball action as that starts to heat up here in the cold month of December. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.